Now, were you supposed to do that?
I just did.
Let's go work on that planter. As you can see, we jacked up the 1 row unit. Went ahead and took this one parallel arm off. Parallel arm. I don't know why that's so hard to say. Parallel arm. We found out that it is inside on the support bracket up here and on the outside of the row unit. So the bushings that we got to put in have to be opposite. Anyway, we're going to be replacing the top 2 arms with new bushings, and then we're going to see how these are on the bottom arms, but I don't think there's really too much play on the bottoms. So we may put bushings in those, we may not. Find out how long this takes us before we decide to do the bottoms, because this may take forever.
This is your template. That's bad.
That seems about right.
Afraid I should have got the bigger bushing.
Does that even do anything?
I'll take all the way.
Towels are right there. Huh.
Oh.
What is that?
The handle for the vise.
What?
The handle for the vise.
I see.
It's gone.
That's what that banging around was, really.
Yeah, I don't know where it went.
It's right in, to the left of that tube. I thought it was just like a ball bearing or something. I was like, what?
It's supposed to be.
It's what?
It's supposed to be press fed.
So the ball was just sitting there perfectly?
Yeah, it was sitting right on top of there. I don't know if that's all the way in, though.
Looks good.
Two different sizes of bolts. I can see that. That may or may not be necessary.
I don't know. Probably should have watched the rest of the tutorial. But that's probably why you have to ream that, right? Does it fit in through? Yeah.
So that's your pivot point.
Mm-hmm. It's threaded. So.
Yeah, that should fit on there. Oh,
It's
no,
threaded.
you're right. You are right.
You can try and push that on there all day, but I think we need to go back into the computer there.
The video. That's going to tighten down against the side of the row unit. Oh, how the are you supposed to ream that out?
Hopefully you don't have to.
Well, I beg to differ.
Do you have a stubby drill?
That's smaller than my D or Porter cables, I know. And that'd have to be
A solid 2 inches
2
shorter.
inches shorter. That'd be a right angle is what it'd have to be. Because that's even going to be tighter over there.
Well, let's go in on the computer first and see what the heck is going on. Figure out what we're doing before we,
like I say, that's even tighter.
Ruin everything. Yeah, I don't know how.
This side's terrible. This one's terrible.
They're all bad.
This one's terrible. This one's no problem.
There's junk all over this planter.
Ooh.
Now, were you supposed to do that?
I just did. Yes.
So in other words, you don't know.
Yes.
Okay,
This
well.
has got to be done too, and I'm not going to hold that pup. I'll tell you that right now.
It'll be out here for that arm to sit on.
Correct.
Okay, and then it goes on the inside in here.
Correct.
And this will go in here.
Correct.
Okay, gotcha.
We need a right angle drill.
We don't have one of those?
No, that I do not have.
Well, we are back at the farm. It is a new day. It's actually really nice out, 43 degrees, but the sun is shining. And we are going to finally get to work on that planter. Dad went and bought a right angle drill. We should be able to ream out the support plate or whatever that is on the frame of the planter there. And we should get our first arm back on. Hopefully that's all we got to do. We'll find out soon enough. As soon as we get these first two on, this first row unit, we'll check the slop, see if the bottoms are gonna need replaced. We'll just replace the bushings, not actually put in the precision ones. I don't think he even ordered them. So Dad ended up getting the Performax top of the line right angle drill here. But it'll do what we need. So, and it is corded, which is gonna be quite obnoxious running around all these rows, but hey, when the red brand is $300 for the same drill and this is $30, you do what you got to do. Anyway, we got to ream some of this stuff out. This is what I'm talking about, this back plate here. I got to ream this hole out. I still got to ream this piece here that holds the box on. And then I think this arm is ready to go on. And then I just got to figure out how it goes on with all these parts laying here. I got to figure out what I'm doing. So let's get started, shall we? Like that. We gotta ream this out, and I certainly am not gonna hold on to this while I ream this, because I imagine that wouldn't go very well. Dad is headed over to the local John Deere dealership, and he's going to be grabbing the bearings, or I keep saying bearings. He's going to be grabbing the bushings for these lower arms here. We didn't think we were going to change them, but being that those are cast, we figured those are fine, but the bushings are probably worn out. So we're just going to replace the bushings and call that good enough. I don't know who's going to be doing what. I don't know if I'll sit out here and be changing these bushings and then while he's taking these and reaming them out, and every time he brings them out to me, I'll put them back on. I don't know how we're going to do this, or vice versa. But either way, we got to get a system put in place here, because apparently this takes a while. And I can see why. Unless we had like 4 of these reamers and 9 different drills and stuff like that, and a crew of 6, it's probably going to take a while. So we've got this, I think, goes here. This goes in like that. And then we slide this on. Whoop. Now wait a minute, this just doesn't seem right. I think the spacers go here. Like that, I think, and then a nut. That look right? Anybody? I don't know what I'm doing here. So I've got the bolt coming straight through the mount for the box, and then I've got a little tiny washer back behind it. The bracket, or the arm, 2 washers sitting on top of this little hex bushing deal, and then the nut. And I think that's correct. Okay, so for this top one, we have a short bolt, because here this bolt's just riding on this frame. Then we throw the washers on, or the spacers, whatever you want to call them. The 1/8 inch spacers. Needs a little more oomph with some wrenches, which I have no idea what sizes are. That was a good guess. 15/16. Okay, I'm gonna go grab another 15/16 wrench. You know, we are like one of the only countries that are still using standard instead of metric. Metric is, yes, a lot easier. A lot easier to understand. But I will say, they're using ratchets that are 1/4, 3/8, and 1/2 inch drive. Just saying. Have you ever heard of a 13 mil drive ratchet? Because I sure as heck haven't. Pretty sure all square drive ratchets are inch based. So at least we got that on them. You know, they may be living in a metric world, but they can never escape it. 12 inches? Foot? That's a foot. Well, that's 12 inches. I think the arm is on finally. I don't know. Does this look right? They didn't send very good instructions, honestly. Definitely gonna take a while. We're definitely gonna want one guy reaming these arms and another guy just sitting here changing bushings on the lowers and then putting it back together. Before I do another arm, I'm gonna go in and just make sure that I'm doing it right. I probably should have just done it before I put that together, but I was feeling confident. But now that I've got it together, I don't feel very confident anymore. So I'm gonna just go look it up. Pretty sure I did it right.
Still free enough to turn.
Yeah, there's plenty of space there. I still got I think the torque spec is like 145 foot-pounds.
Oh, I didn't see a torque spec.
Yeah.
Ooh, that one feels tight.
Yeah, the washers are not supposed to be tight.
No, I'm sure they're not, because that's got a pivot.
Yeah.
That one seems pretty tight.
Really? I guess I didn't look at it before I went in. I just wanted to see if I was doing it correct. Well, the videos, you know how pretty much anything ag related goes on videos, so.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. They're garbage. I mean, just.
This one actually feels a little sloppy.
See, I think that's what you want right there.
You got to torque this one? I'm assuming.
Yeah. And then tighten the nut down
to it. And then tighten the nut as a jam.
Right.
Another arm.
Okie dokie.
And like I said, you can be replacing these lower bushings.
Yeah.
And that's very easy.
Well, that's just a matter of taking the bolt out, slipping the new bushing in. Oh, baby. What's that?
Trying out that new ratchet.
Thank you.
I think it'll work. Yeah, they just widened them out a little. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's like divoted.
It's cupped.
Yeah.
Take that wear out, and the lowers will be all right.
Yeah, I don't suppose if there's much wear here? Not much.
Not enough to speak of. Perfect.
So these bottom parallel arms, there's really nothing to them. I'm literally just taking the bolt out, and then the bushing that's inside of there, just replacing them, and that's it. I mean, since these are cast, they don't really wear down. It's just the bushing wears. So we're just gonna replace those. And yeah, Dad's gonna be inside reaming these. I'll just pull one every now and then once he brings it out, I'll put it all together, and that's how this whole process is gonna go. Okay, well, I timed the one side, this side of the row unit on those parallel arms. It took about a half an hour. So I would say about an hour per unit, and we're only gonna get quicker as we do it more and more. So I don't know, a 16-hour job. I imagine if we were doing the lowers too, yes, this would take a long time. But yeah, you buy the pre-builts, this would be a cakewalk. Be a 4-hour day. They've got these parallel arms pre-built with bushings in them and all that stuff, and you would just take them off and just slap them in here, and away you go. I don't know. It's better.
Will it come from this side?
No.
Not even close.
But it is better. Because I was like this with the other one.
Oh, a lot.
Yeah. Is it the right direction here? Oh.
I don't. Yes, you're going to be there a while. You want me to make the humming sound?
Yeah, I forgot there's no battery.
The other Makita would have been better. The one on Amazon.
The corded one. More power.
So put it back in the box, take it back, and
Okay. Well, that kind of puts us at a standstill here. So unfortunately, with the bracket supporting this wheel and all that, that angle drill doesn't fit very well. We got to go buy a new one. This was the old tool. It was a Performax. We ended up going to the Makita. You can see just how much smaller this head is. Couldn't quite get the other head into some spaces where the wheels were on the planer and all that. Just gonna go ahead and get all of these seed boxes off of the planer first. I can show you how I take them off. So we're going to ream this hole out, then we'll set a template. That should be the size of that reamer. We'll set that in there, and we'll get this pilot hole drilled on both ends. And then we'll use this bit drill through that pilot. And then we take these inserts and put them in there, press them in, and that will be our new steel that bushing sits in. You can see here he's got it set to 150 RPMs, bottom belt and top belt, it's 150. So he's got it on the slowest speed. Yeah. As you can see, it's a really tight fit in there. But she does fit. Head row's done. Now we're just going to go ahead and sit on this the rest of the day. Obviously, I'm not going to make you guys watch that. So, we'll see at the end of the day, see how far we get. So I went ahead and stole some of the sawhorses that we finally have available. And I sorted all the tools because I was getting tired of knocking them off the insecticide boxes. So we have a nice sorted table for me to just turn around. I know where all the tools are at. I know where the bolts are at, which ones are longs and shorts. Should go by quick. I've run into a little bit of a problem on the back side of the planer. The right angle drill will not fit where the step is for the CCS. As you can see, this is a little too tight in there. Won't go there. Can't fit here. So I believe the only option is to take the row unit off, which is going to suck. I don't know of any other way. So that means I'm gonna have to take this row unit off, and I'm gonna have to take this other one on this side of the step as well. But if we only gotta take 2 row units off, that's not as bad as taking them all off, I guess, but not something I really wanted to do. But we'll see what I gotta do here. I'll fight with it for another minute or two, and then if not, I'm grabbing the genie and we're pulling this off of here. So alright, I've never done this before, so bear with me here, but I believe obviously I gotta get the chain off, just like so. Uh-oh. Oh no. Where did you go, sir? Voila. Just like so. Okay, chain is off. I mean, we gotta undo a lot of these connections, air hoses, fertilizer tubes, but those are really no big deal. I mean, a lot of these are just simple connections that I can undo. Like that. Just like that. Oh, there's a lot of crap on this. This whole wiring harness needs to go. This hose, I think, is clipped up here. You can pull all these hoses. Oh, there's a process. Just be glad I don't have to do this for every row. Okay, so what I'm thinking is if I can just get it disconnected and just hanging, I might be able to move this bracket, this support bracket here, the support plate, and just move it over instead of just completely taking away the row unit. That way I don't have to unplug all of this crap and cut all these zip ties and stuff like that. We'll see what we do here, but that might be a possibility as well. Because there's a lot of airlines and wiring and just stuff I really don't want to take apart if I don't have to.
The other plan
It would make my life easier.
Obviously, that would, yeah.
Well, we could go find another right angle drill that's even shorter.
Yeah, they're running out of options on that department.
So Dad thinks he can engineer something or figure something out to where I don't have to remove the row unit, which would be nice. And there you just seen he was using our fine steel lathe to try and get this shoulder kind of run down a little bit so that it could fit in this hole. And he's thinking we might just find a bolt that doesn't have the shoulder so we don't have to ream that out. But he doesn't have it far enough, so we'll keep trying. But it's, I mean...
Well, let me take a little more, and it looks like all I need to do is hit the...
just the outside edge. Seems like he's got that whipped. I'm gonna go ahead and connect this stuff back up. That man's ingenuity never ceases to amaze me. Let's go chuck up this bolt into the drill press and then just take a file to it. You know, that's a good idea. Get this pushed back in. Now the problem is we lost that clip that holds this together. So we're gonna find a new one. But yeah, that'll be done. So just grind the shoulder off of that bolt if you're doing this same thing, instead of just taking the row unit off or reaming the support plate out. Much simpler solution. Look at that. Well, that worked. Well, we were back at the farm today, and we were finally done putting those parallel arms on the planer. I would say it was probably about 3 full days, maybe even 4. We just kept having problems. I mean, especially running into having to change the drill out and all that other stuff. It took a long time. But I imagine if we would have had a heated shop and all that and known what we were doing in the beginning, you could probably get that done in 2 days easily. Maybe 1 really long day, but not too bad the way we did it anyway. If you were changing all the arms completely, I mean, yeah, I think that would take forever.